Welcome to The Hungry Meeple, a podcast about bringing connections between friends, family, through games and food. And today we're going to be playing Marrakesh by Stefan Fell and published by Queen's Games. And actually, today's copy was brought by Troy, who's joined us today. So, Troy, why don't you go first and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Troy.
Friend of the pod.
Yes, absolutely. And I definitely consider myself an avid board gamer. So, and played this game a couple times, and one of my favorite designers. So, pretty much any game that he publishes, I'm at least interested in trying out once or twice. And this one's definitely one of the favorites. So.
Yeah.
I'm Andrew. I've been board gaming for quite a few years now. I've played Marrakesh once before, and it is a pretty complicated game, so I'm probably going to still be in learning mode here a little bit, but I'm looking forward for a second playthrough here.
Beautiful. And as always, with me is my co-host,
Saida. Thanks for coming here to our guest. I am not an avid board gamer, but I play a lot because Ramon is. So he's my partner. So I'm kind of, it's not forced because I enjoy
At least you enjoy
playing,
it. Exactly. Yeah, I don't make you.
But I've been learning a lot, and I'm enjoying these new games that are more complicated, like Marrakesh.
Beautiful. And I am your host, Ramon, as always. So today we're going to be playing Marrakesh. And like in any good dinner party, you always receive your guests with a drink. And Saida made us a drink.
So today's drink, I of course, got inspired by Marrakesh. I never been there, but I read that you are received there with tea in most houses, like mint tea. And that lemons are very popular. They like to preserve them and use them in their dishes. So I wanted to incorporate both flavors in a drink. I also like Arnold Palmer's, which are iced tea with lemonade. So I thought, blend the two together. And today's drink is a mint iced tea with lemonade. And spike with a little bit of gin and triple sec for the orange flavor.
Did you come up with a cool name for it?
It could be like, I don't know, like Marrakesh Essence or
the essence of Marrakesh.
Yeah,
I love that.
Or sunset, it's kind of like the same color of the game.
Sunset,
yellow.
sunset over Marrakesh, maybe. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. Beautiful. All right. Well, cheers, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, guys. And
Thank you.
There you go. Let us know how you like it.
That's excellent.
Ooh, absolutely. That was tasty. I think I have all of these at home as well already. Well, last time was it the coffee and gin? Yep. It was a few times ago for you, but.
Yep. Yeah, no. So we've done, all of the drinks we don't have gin. That's why we ran out. Just today. There's no more gin.
I think it's a good, drink to.
It is.
Liqueur to combine with other flavors.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
No, absolutely. I think I already have all these at home, so I'll be able to do this one again too.
There you go. It's good. So, what's in it? Tell us. I guess. So,
Sorry.
No.
Okay.
How do you make it?
So to make this drink, you first need to brew green tea. I use gunpowder tea. Usually in a mint from Morocco, they brew the tea with the mint inside. This time I just brew the green tea. I let it cool. And then I made a simple syrup with the mint. So it's a mint simple syrup, which we use to create a cocktail. And it's basically squeezed lemon juice, like fresh lemon juice, very fresh. And then you add the gin, the triple sec, and the tea and the mint syrup. And that's it. You shake it and it's quite easy.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. And it's not lemonade. It's just fresh squeezed lemon,
Yeah.
right?
Because you provide the simple syrup, it brings the sugar. And the triple sec It's a liqueur that has sugar too.
Right. And for those listening at home, the recipe is going to be on the website as well as usual, thehungrymeeple.com for the Marrakesh sunset over Marrakesh.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's
Andrew,
Yeah, like it.
would you be making it home? Do you think?
Probably, yeah.
Do you think Wendy would like it?
Yeah, she loves mint flavor, so.
Excellent. Yeah, the mint is really good. It's really refreshing. I think for summer, it's a perfect summer drink.
Feels refreshing.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that boozy. Though
No.
Ramon says like has a lot of.
Well, it has 4 ounces. So it has 2 ounces of the
Gin.
liqueur, which is about like a wine. So 12%. And then it has 2 ounces of gin, which is pretty high octane. So, I mean, you're drinking 4 ounces of alcoholic drinks, which is, it's not nothing, you know. So, but it doesn't feel boozy. It doesn't burn when you drink it.
No.
So.
Mint and citrus, though. It's a good combination.
It is good. Yeah. It's good. So then when we were doing a little bit of research for this podcast, we watched some videos of like travel food and of Marrakesh, and certainly every time they
some people will squeeze lemon on their mint tea. Some other people will put orange blossom essence, which is is like a water made from the infused with the orange flowers. So it tastes similar to oranges, but it's more floral. So that's why I also decided to put the triple sec to have an orange flavor there. So that's it.
and certainly there's going to be a version of non-alcoholic version that you can make at home as well, because Marrakesh being Muslim country, they actually don't drink alcohol.
Morocco is
I'm sorry. Marrakesh is the capital city of Morocco. Yeah. So we wanted to kind of have that option, not only because of that, but there's people that don't drink alcohol when they, play games. Yeah. So we want to be inclusive as well. All right. So with drink in hand, it is time for table talk. And Table Talk is the section of the podcast where we just talk about what games have you played, or in general, what have you been doing lately. So for Andrew and Troy, we haven't seen you in the podcast for now about like 2 or 3 weeks, right? So, right?
Couple months.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Man, oh my goodness.
Troy
You're
was
right.
in the
You're right.
in the Star Wars.
Yeah. And then Messina for
missed.
Andrew.
And we had
Yeah,
Bird.
missed Messina.
Yeah. So wow. And I
3
think
months.
weeks. I think weeks when, but
3
we
months
see
for
each other.
Troy, 2 months for
Yeah, but we see each other regularly. It's just that for the podcast. So
it's pretty much every week for some sort of get together.
exactly.
Absolutely.
So Andrew, you want to go first? What have you been playing?
Let's see, what have I been playing? It's been pretty busy summer, so
Summer is always busy
yeah.
for family, right? Yeah.
getting a lot of things in on like BGA and things. But let's see,
We played
what did
Messina.
play? Yep, did play Messina. Let's see, last week I learned Carnegie, which was
Right. How do you like
fun.
Carnegie?
It's a fun, heavier game that
Okay.
actually not as complicated as I thought it was looking at it for the first time, but that turned out good. I like learning that.
Is it the Carnegie is a very popular game. People liked it a lot.
Mhm.
I tried to play my way through a teach, and it went really bad. I couldn't really understand what I was doing. But yeah, what's like the main? How would you describe? It's a Euro game, I guess.
Right. So you're basically kind of a gilded age entrepreneur trying to build out railroads and industries and things. But the main driver of the game is also the philanthropy component.
Huh.
So a lot of your points actually come from what you're giving away.
Wow,
So
interesting.
it's a interesting concept, because you think you need to build up everything, but it's actually what you give away is what you're getting the points for, or at least the main part of your points comes from your donations. So
That's cool.
It's a interesting twist on the kind of empire building game. Is it's not what you end up with, but what you have given away is the concept, which I really liked. It was a
Yeah.
twist on things.
And Troy, you played Carnegie.
Well, so I played it once when it came out on BGA,
Uh-huh.
Board Game Arena, a
Yeah.
while ago.
Yeah, like a
It's been
year
a
and a
while.
half, maybe 2 years.
And that was it. and then never played it again until
Recently,
a
we
couple
got
times.
invited,
Tried
yeah.
to play and it's not coming back to me yet. So
Right.
I'm gonna have to watch a video or read, the rules or something to get caught back up, because it is just not it's not clicking back of how it was. It was just a long time ago though.
Right.
So
And you played it with Paul. It's his copy, right?
Yep.
And Paul listens to the podcast. I know he's listening right now. So maybe Paul can bring it and we could do a podcast episode because he has a copy. And
if we see Paul again,
I know, exactly. But a friend of the podcast certainly always welcome to come. And yeah, I'm maybe one day we'll get him. What else have you been playing, Troy?
I don't really. I've been playing a lot of Arc Nova online, so that's been pretty popular recently, and I mean, I'm really excited about my new Castles of Burgundy special edition that just came in yesterday. So just starting to open the boxes on that one. So that's another Feld game, though. Probably one of my just all-time favorites in general. So great, not super heavy game, but still pretty in-depth, fun one. So to have that new edition that just came out and get that all unboxed and set up, I'm looking forward to bringing it one night so we can play with all those good pieces. That and the new deluxe Lagrange.
Oh, right.
So,
I've never played Lagrange.
Lagrange, yeah. I'll try to say it right.
That's fine. It's like
So
a
it's
pep me.
Granja.
It's Granja with a J. It's just this gringos.
Yeah, I know. But I'll unbox it. I'll get it all ready.
Let's do it.
And
Yeah.
Ultimate Railroads.
Right.
So we've been playing a few of that. So, but I think
you
right
play
now,
Ultimate on the table
still,
online.
Still
Online.
playing Russian Railroads.
Russian, right? It's the same.
I mean, yeah, it's just with all the different expansions. So
Right.
getting that one ready to actually bring to
Nice.
one of our game nights. But we
Yeah.
played that a couple times
Mhm,
recently.
mhm.
So
It's a good game. I like it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I will say so. Saida has never played Castles of Burgundy. Yeah,
well,
and
that's
that's
a shame.
criminal. I
Yeah.
know. And
It's your fault.
it is my fault, 100%.
You haven't
Well,
put
I,
it
I
on
don't
the
have
table.
a copy. I don't have a copy of
Oh,
Castles.
okay.
So, and I wasn't about to spend however much Troy spent on his deluxe version because I like the game. I just don't like it that much. But it is a great game. I play it on BGA. We played
Yeah.
it multiple
Oh,
times,
yeah.
right? And I think you would like it as well. So yeah.
Well, I can definitely bring it,
Yeah.
or just let you use one of the other copies. So
Right, because you have 2 copies at least now.
3
Oh.
total.
Why is that?
Well, so the original, I mean, not the original, but when I bought the first copy, and then a couple of years back, they released an anniversary edition that had some additional, had extra maps and things that you could, or boards or whatever that you could have bought for the other one, but I never did. So I was like, okay, I'll get the new one. But unfortunately, the artwork on that one was never
Not
super
good.
popular. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
little, but it does have the extra boards, and they changed a couple of rules to try to balance some things. So I got that one. And then this is just this like super deluxe crazy edition that they did recently. And I kicked it around for a while, but my wife was like, listen, we've played that game.
Right.
You've played that game, but I played it with her too. And like, that's a game that you'll always play. And you know, even just to have it and bring out the special one every once in a while it'll be nice. So came in yesterday, but so I have 3 copies. So I have the special one that I probably won't play very often because I want to keep it relatively nice, but in the original version and then the anniversary. So just
Nice.
And does that new one have any changes itself?
it's it actually has quite a few different things. So
Really?
I don't know all of it. I didn't bother really getting into what was going to be coming. I just figured, because sometimes Kickstarters, sometimes they fall through. So
Right.
I don't want to
But
get
that one you would.
it
think,
probably
yeah.
wouldn't.
It was a
But
well-known
there was
publisher.
another one recently that the publisher went bankrupt, and so I mean, it happens. So I
It's the
try
risk
not to
you're
get
taking, yeah.
I try not to get super excited about them. Once I commit, just let it. When it shows up, and
That's a skill I don't have.
it's
That's amazing.
So this is a great birthday gift though, because
Right? Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, tomorrow's my birthday, so-
Congratulations.
my wife actually went last night because we were going out to dinner, and the UPS truck was late, but you could see on the map where it was. She
Where
actually
is
went and
this?
found him so she could get it before we left because it was supposed to rain yesterday. And we're like, if that had been out in the
Right.
rain, like I would have
Cry.
been so like heartbroken when I got back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she went out and found the UPS truck and like got my package.
Goodness, that's so
Yeah.
It was in the
I
neighborhood.
don't know
It was
if I ever do that.
it was in the neighborhood. It was no, it was like a mile away in our neighborhood. But she's
still,
You don't know how much they pay for it. That's why.
Okay. That copy better come home.
Exactly.
yeah,
But
it would have been very sad.
yeah, but I while I joke about the price because it was a pretty high, a game like that you absolutely love, that you play and play and play and play, it's I think it's well worth it.
Yeah,
money,
I mean,
you know.
Bring it out occasionally. You know, they said probably not every time. If I'm going to a normal event,
Right.
I'm not going to bring it. But
Because it's a huge,
but if I'm coming over here
Right.
or if I'm at home, I'd break it out. But it's one of those that most people that play it will play at any time.
Yeah,
So even if you
absolutely.
can't figure something else out that you have that you want, like, hey, let's play Castle Burgundy, and most of the time everyone's like, okay, sure, that's a good one.
And that's a Stefan Phil game.
It is.
Just like today, that Marrakesh. And I think you will see, actually, you've played Castles of Tuscany. Tuscany is
Mhm.
the, yeah,
The other one, yeah.
and you probably don't remember because we only played it one time, but his games are all kind of like that. The barrier for entry is really low,
Mhm.
even though it's a game that it has a lot of emerging complexity as well. So they're deceptively simple,
Yeah,
I guess.
There's often a lot of icons, but
Yeah.
you usually get a grasp on them pretty quickly.
Mhm.
A lot of different ways you can score usually too. A lot of different
Right,
and a lot of
right.
points that get scored for the most part. So
Yep.
it's kind of the
You
Yeah.
get point. You get point. You get
yeah,
point.
you get a lot of points, but there's definitely different ways to do them and different strategies you can take, and it looks complex on the table, but once you go through it,
Mechanically, it's not.
it's normally
but-
not as
But
nowhere near.
this one, and we'll talk about it later. But I feel that you need a few plays because there's so many venues that you
Mhm.
can focus on, and trying to get those to work together, and so it's fun. Anyway, say that. What have you been playing? Well, I know you've been playing Adventure Tactics
Adventure
at the very
Tactics,
least. Yeah,
okay, with the family, and we enjoy it, especially the role playing part of it.
yeah.
But today I want to ask you guys a question.
Go ahead.
How do you handle different ways of interpreting a rule with friends and family?
Where is this coming from?
It's coming from because I bought a game that I thought my son
Oh my
would
goodness,
have-
yes.
will love.
Uh-huh.
It's called
Organ
Organ
Attack.
Attack.
Mm-hmm,
Mhm.
mm-hmm.
He likes
Yeah.
to read about the human body. He did a project of school about the spleen. And this game has this cute representation, cartoonish representations of organs, and you play with all of them. And they have interesting facts. And I think it's very good to learn about the functions of the organs.
It is.
So we were playing it, and then we were having fun, right?
We were.
But he decided to interpret a rule a different way than the rest of us.
Yeah.
And that ended up in a few tears.
Yeah. It
and the feeling that
turned,
maybe
yeah.
it was not worth it.
I'm
That
glad you
one-
say that because I felt the same way. I never told you, but I afterwards like, oh, maybe we should have just let him do whatever he wanted. and-
That's the question. If we have a situation like that,
yeah.
or even with friends, doesn't have to be kids. How do you
Right.
guys handle it? You guys have more experience playing with other people, different.
Well, with kids, I don't know. That would be different. I know with my friends that they usually don't interpret the rules right.
Uh-huh.
So,
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know.
It takes a play to learn the game.
It does
so.
no, but I don't know. I don't know if I've ever really had a huge difference of interpretation. And sometimes it happens, but yeah, usually it's kind of just like, okay, whatever, hey, we just play because for the most part it's all for fun anyway. And so maybe I don't agree with the rule. Maybe it causes me to lose. Whatever. It's more about getting together with people and having some fun than winning the game because 4 people playing, only one person's going to win anyway. So, but I guess the same with kids, but a lot of times too, we try to modify the rules sometimes to just make it better for them.
Okay.
So, Because sometimes the rules just, like we play. I mean, it's simple, but we play Uno. When I play with my daughter or with the family, we don't play by the usually if you draw 2, you lose your turn. That's
Right.
the official rule. That's mean. We don't want to play that way. We're just there to have some fun. So you got to draw 2, but you still take your turn, and that's just our rule.
Okay.
So sometimes it's like that where it's just maybe it's not the exact rule, but maybe it works better for you. Like you said, or it's not worth the
Yes.
the argument.
So make a
about it.
house rule and have fun.
Yeah.
That would be.
What about you, Andrew?
So I think this is a problem with a lot of games is their rule books are not necessarily clear on some things. And I think if a rule is open for interpretation and it seems like it's not clear one way or the other, let whoever wants to do it the way they want to do it, as long as it's applied to everybody for the rest of the game. If a question comes up, you can always do research after the game to clarify something, but I think you don't want to necessarily stop in the middle and try to go through the book or go online to look up and see what people said. Just roll with it, have fun, and then maybe clarify it afterwards, and then play the right way the next time. Or maybe that was the right way. Maybe the person that was looking at the rule actually had it right, and that's the way to go. But I think keeping the flow and keeping the fun is more important than adhering to the letter of a rule that in the book may not have been written as clear as it should have been. So
I love that. So thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Just to give a little bit of context, more context, I guess. The game is fun. The one thing about the game that I didn't like as much is player elimination game. And oddly enough, Saida and I were already eliminated. It was only Daniel and Adrian, and because they're brothers and they argue, I think that made it a little bit worse. I think that made it a little bit more like Daniel. He was looking at the car and say, "I want to do it like this way," and we weren't sure. Maybe we should. I think honestly, it was a failure of the parents, because Adrian never argued. He said, however you want to do it, do it.
But we went immediately to see if
we went
there
to
was a
BGG.
clarification of the rule,
Yeah.
and we didn't find anything.
Nothing.
We tried to apply logic, and that's when
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
we focused
Logic with
on
children.
the logic.
I know, exactly.
And then the kid.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Right.
And we were having a lot of fun, even though it's a play elimination game, and it is a take that. You're at literally, it's called Organ Attack. Have you played that?
I have it. I haven't played in a long time, and because of that, because I'm not a huge player elimination.
Right.
I'm not a huge fan of those.
Right.
But it's a quicker one though. So
Well, that's it. It's quick, but it's not quick enough because Saida and I were out of the game, and the game was like only halfway through still. So even though we're just sitting there, we're sitting there for another 10, 15 minutes. I mean, if we're sitting there, we want to be sitting there for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad game. You just need to know that there's all of that stuff, and the rules are not as clear as you would want them to be. And certainly cards, there's some cards that I would just take out in the future. So there's some particular cards that I will say, this is not very clear. You don't agree. I don't agree. Let's just take it out, which is fine. It's just like Troy was saying, that we modify games to make them fun for the family, right? So just take a card out. So.
But still, I like the art of the
Yeah.
game, the interactions. The kids get to read and see
Mhm.
actual facts of organs and diseases that that attack them. And I think it's very good if your kid is interested in that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And the art is very cutesy. It's
And
cartoony. In fact, it's a cartoon.
It comes with 2 bags of stickers.
Yeah,
Which
stickers.
is
Yeah,
cute.
yeah, yeah.
You don't have one in
I don't.
yours?
It's been a long time since I.
Yeah, because it's an
probably
older game, like 3
I
or
think
4
it's-
years.
Oh no, more than that.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain I played that in Georgia, so I think
Oh,
that would be
wow.
like 6 or 7.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
But
And it comes in a
It looks like
medical
a
book.
It looks like a medical book. At least the version that we got. It may be
Oh.
like a latest printing. You may have the
maybe.
Kickstarter, because it was
Yeah.
Kickstarter.
yeah, I'll have to. Now I'm curious what the difference might be. I
Yeah.
mean, just to know.
Yeah.
I think I may even have an extra copy for our 24-hour
Oh,
game
to
night.
give
I'm
it
not
away?
100%
That'd be
sure.
cool. Yeah,
I
that'd
know
be
I had
cool.
I had
Yeah,
a stack of them that I had set aside for that. So I'm not sure if that was one of them or not. I think it was.
nice.
I'll have to
That's
go back and look.
cool. All right. So, I've been playing a few games actually that I want to talk about. So I played recently Trailblazers by Ryan Courtney, which is one of my favorite favorite designers. He did Pipeline. I know
Okay.
we played Pipeline
Yeah.
together, and this is I guess you would call it a tile playing game. And it's really cool. It comes in a plastic shell with a carabiner, and it's called Trailblazers. And really, so he is very I think he's a very outdoor enthusiast as well, so he wants people to go outdoor and all do all that stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's very puzzly, just like I don't know if you remember from Pipeline, you have the pipe laying puzzle. I don't know, Andrew, have you played Pipeline?
No.
That's criminal. We need to get you to play, because I think you will absolutely like that game. You don't like it?
It was okay. I'd play it again though to get a better feel.
Right.
Because I think we
played
played
TTS.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's it.
every game I played on there is always I need to play it in person to know better.
Okay.
But
yeah. So we did play on TTS, and but I played it live. I have a copy. Certainly, I'll bring it next time, because I know you would like it, Andrew. But it is the same, similar pipe laying puzzle or the route connecting puzzle, in which you have a set of cards that you have a hand of cards, and out of there you're gonna put 2 and then draft the rest, which is kind of fun as well. I play with Saida. You remember when we play Trailblazers?
Not really.
That's the one that has the hiker cams and the
the one that comes in the little
plastic. Yeah,
plastic thing
Mhm,
to
for
hook it
camping.
to the.
Yep.
To the
yeah. So
It's
yeah.
good. I like it.
Yeah, it's a nice puzzle-y, not too long. All the cards are actually made of PVC material, so it really is meant to be taken outside.
But there are a lot of cars that I
That's
didn't
the
like
one
that part,
thing,
because when you
yeah.
are hiking or going outdoors, you don't have like a big surface to play.
Mhm.
So that's the only thing.
Yeah, I agree. That's the one thing that even though the cards are really meant to be in the dirt and get wet, they're not really meant to be in a picnic table.
Like
Yeah.
I think if you have enough space, if you play with all,
If you don't have like a cover, because it is a bigger game, and it comes in a small pack, and each card is about the size of chewing gum, right? Each card, but you end up putting, I don't know, like 12, 15 of those, so it gets bigger. You're trying to make routes and all that jazz. So yeah, but I liked it. That's the one that I've been playing, and I've been playing. Oh, and we played Phantom Ink recently as well, which I got. Have you played that one?
We played it, and I remember playing it.
Oh,
but
you're
I'm
right, exactly.
I'm drawing a blank on.
So it's a team game, right? Like Codenames. We talked about it because it's similar to Codename, right?
It's coming back to me.
And you have a ghost and the mediums. And the mediums, you play, Andrew, right?
Yeah, that was fun.
Right. So the mediums the ghosts.
I got it.
Yeah. So each team has a ghost and a medium. And then the 2 ghosts pick a word. So they know the word. And the mediums are trying to guess the word. And whichever medium does it first wins. That's it. And I like it because, the way you do is that they give you a question, cards with questions, and when you answer the question, you write it letter by letter, right? And as soon as your medium guess or think they know what you're writing, because you don't want to give too much information to the other team, they have to scream "Silencio!"
And it's amazing what you get from just a couple of letters sometimes. I thought it was going to be impossible, and then
Right? Yeah.
you have like 3 letters on the board.
Silencio.
And, yes.
P-O, silencio.
Or you could be completely off and thinking something else from like 2 letters.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
that also fits the puzzle that you're
Yeah.
trying to solve.
Yeah.
But
And we played it with the kids as well a bunch of times.
I remember one time that you thought it was something different.
Yeah,
But
just
that
like
gave me
Andrew
like
was
a
saying.
clue to discard that part, and then I knew what it was.
Because there's one card too that says, And the question is, tell me something completely opposite or something like that. So you gave that to Adrian or Daniel, whichever, and he wrote some stuff, and that threw me off completely. You know, it's like, oh, okay, so that's not it. So it's a little fun. Actually, that game I saw a demo in PAX,
Really?
and I didn't play it because it didn't look. For some reason, it didn't. It didn't call to me. That's what it is. But I wish I had. Certainly, we got it recently, and we played it. The kids really liked it. They really had a lot of fun. What was it? The clue was like iceberg. Was it iceberg? And it was either iceberg or Titanic. One of the two.
No, it was iceberg. I think.
Okay.
And that day, I knew that my kids needed to watch Titanic. They didn't know.
They didn't know what like an iceberg was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And whale. The other ones were like whale. And it was like, you guys need to watch. It was either whale or orca or something like that. It's like,
It was harpoon.
Oh, it's harpoon.
Harpoon.
That's
so
it.
I gave a clue like whale. And then
You were the ghost then.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
And they didn't could have guessed it, or Daniel, whichever. And it's like, yeah, you guys need to watch Free Willy.
Free Willy. Yep.
So
I don't know about that one. Titanic, yes. Free Willy.
Really?
No,
Yeah.
we need to watch the one about this book. I remember. I forgot.
Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I was.
Yeah. Did you see the movie? Moby
No,
Dick?
but
Okay.
that's what I was thinking when you're talking about whales and harpoons.
Exactly.
And,
You're right. No, not Free Willy, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
He doesn't die.
Yeah, I don't think he gets harpooned at all.
I know. But
That would make it a lot more darker.
exactly more realistic. But we played that. Things that you learn about your kids when you play games with them. You know, you realize the lack of knowledge they have. Anyway, Phantomic, a lot of fun if you get a chance to get it. And being a team game also makes it easy to get to the table. So all that jazz. All right. Anything else?
It also can bring non-gamers in too.
Right. Yeah. We tried to get your wife to play.
Yeah.
And she's really into what would you say?
Like spirituality.
Spirituality,
yeah.
exactly. New Age.
Right.
And I would like to have her in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know which game we would do, but that's coming, you know, because she every time we talk, it's like, when am I going to be a podcast? Oh, I don't know what game you want to play. So it's like board game podcast.
Yeah, step one, we got to get her to game night.
Exactly. Yeah. But when she was there that day, I was like, look, this is, and she didn't want to play because she was tired. I understand that. But she still sat down and she was very intrigued by it. I was like, what are you guys doing?
All
So
right, who's got is it Mysterium?
I got Mysterium. Yeah. You don't like Mysterium, huh?
I don't know if I like it either.
Okay. But you say that like Dixit.
I love.
Troy doesn't
my
like
I
Dixit.
know, I love Dixie. Yeah. But Mysterium is, I don't know. I don't have as much fun.
Okay.
Maybe like because with Dixit, at least it's changed. The person is changing, so you're not like, because if somebody's not great at
That's true.
those clues, or you're just not clicking with in Mysterium, it's just one person. So if you're just not understanding their train of thought, you're stuck for the game. But with Dixit, it goes around.
Right.
So hey, I didn't get Ramon's clue, but all right, I get Andrew's, so it's fine. Maybe that's why. One
I
versus
get
the other.
frustrated that I cannot, as a ghost, I cannot
Yeah.
communicate.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
so because that
So it's the other way
changes,
around.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah,
the other
so
way around. You were saying like the ghost being bad. She's saying, I don't want to be the ghost.
Well, right,
all
but
the
that's what I mean,
time.
because
Yeah,
there's only that
interesting.
one
Yeah.
person that's doing it. You're not making that connection. But with Dixit, everybody
goes around.
around, so you're not stuck with, okay, nobody got your clue.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now the next person, and now you get to guess. So that's probably that would be my.
No, I think it's that.
Yeah.
But neither one of those are. I never click with anybody, so it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Did you ever play Detective Club? It's a Dixit game,
No.
but so it's the same thing as Dixit, except that when you give the clue, no, it's not the same thing. You ask as the clue giver or whatever. It's a deduction game. There's one person that doesn't know what the secret word. That's it. And
You give booklets.
yeah. So
And
you
one
write.
people will get a blank thing.
Right. If you have 5 players, you take 5 booklets, 5 pieces of paper, and then you write the secret word on 4. And the 5th one, you put an X or something. and then you randomly you shuffle that and you give it. So one person doesn't know. And then on your turn, you have to put in a Dixit type card in front of you that represent that thing that it is.
Connects with the clue.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds a lot like Chameleon. So Chameleon, though, I think it's the same type of thing where one person doesn't know the word, and everybody, I think they say, it's been a while since I played it, but I think everybody says something instead of putting in a card.
Right.
So
Yes.
you say something about the secret word, and
And the person that has the X needs to know what
Right,
other people
right,
are saying
right.
because
try
you
to-
need to try to convince
everyone
Everybody
else.
else.
that
Yeah,
you
so
are
it's-
not.
It sounds like it sounds
It's
like
the same thing.
Chameleon just
Yep.
without
Yeah.
with word.
Yeah. There was another one like
Spyfall.
There you go.
Spyfall. I think it was Spyfall.
It's Spyfall. It's the same thing. That's
Spyfall. You have a map.
Yes.
Same kind of
So
thing.
Chameleon,
I
you don't
didn't
have
like
a
that
map?
one. Chameleon, I was okay. No, Chameleon, no match, just a word.
Okay, interesting.
I think it's it's been a long time. I think you have dice that tell you like on a sheet which word it is. So like,
Okay.
one dice is up, down. So you feel, okay, it's this word.
Okay.
So everybody knows. But it's the Chameleon I kind of enjoyed. Spyfall with the map. The map's really small, so a lot of people you're always. I didn't really. It's all these ones where you're giving clues and relying on people,
Right.
Knowing
So-
what other people mean.
Right. But I think that for that, I really liked Spyfall. I liked it a lot because there was a lot of role playing into it when you had to explain, because you had to explain your clue, right? And I really enjoyed that part. But I think most people didn't like it because it's just too complex. That extra layer of complexity added to Dixit, that I just want Dixit. I don't want anything more complex than Dixit.
I think Spyfall just fell because of the size of your map. I mean, your board was only, you're playing with 6 people and your board's only, the size of a sheet of paper, and there's so much detail in there. You gotta really, even if you're not the ghost, if you give or you're not the spy, if you give a clue, and I was paying attention to a different section of the map, I've got to still go back and look oh, what's he talking about? Now I look like the spy because I missed your clue, but I'm not the spy. I think it kind of fell with a little bit there. At least that was my impression. Like I was always looking at the map, whether I was a spy or not. I was always having to reference back what did you mean by that? Are you the spy? Oh no, I get your clue now, but now I look bad because
You had to ask twice.
because I had to look. Yeah, so I mean, it's just my bad memory. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I like it. Anyway, Dixit, it's fun. We haven't played it all the time, but maybe we'll play it Mysterium with Wendy and see if she likes it.
Yeah, I haven't played either, so
Okay.
give it a shot.
There you go. All right. Unless anybody else has anything else to share, I think we are ready. The food is ready. Okay, so we are ready to eat. But before we eat, let's set the table. Welcome to the city of Marrakesh. Located in southwestern Morocco, Marrakesh is known as the Pearl of the South and is one of the 4 imperial cities of Morocco. Marrakesh includes the old fortified city of Medina and hosts the largest traditional market or souk in Morocco. The Medina of Marrakesh is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. On the game of Marrakesh, your player board shows the city of Marrakesh, and it's organized into 9 districts: the Sahara Desert with its oasis, the date orchard, the river, the souk, the main square, the mosque, the palace, the madrasa, and the Medina. Marrakesh is played over 3 seasons, with 4 rounds on each season. On every turn, you'll be sending your assistants across the city of Marrakesh to perform actions that will earn you points. Marrakesh is an action selection game, and each district is associated with a different action. The heart of Marrakesh are the keshis. Keshis are placed on your player board on the different city districts to augment the action associated with that district. Each district has space for 8 keshi. Think of keshis as your influence on that district. For example, as the game progresses and you add keshis to the Medina district, your influence there increases. And when you send your assistant to the Medina, he can perform a stronger action on that district. At the start of every season, you are given 12 keshis, each keshi representing a city district. At the beginning of each round, each player secretly chooses 3 districts to activate this round by selecting 3 keshis corresponding to the chosen districts. Simultaneously, all players reveal their chosen keshis and place their assistants on the corresponding districts on the player board. All of the keshis from all of the players are collected, and players draft their keshis in player order. But before they are drafted, all of the keshis from all of the players are dropped into the tower. If the keshis are the heart of Marrakesh, the tower is its Ras al Hanout, the spice that takes this interesting mix of mechanics and makes it a delicious and fun game. The tower sometimes traps some keshis, so that keshi you selected and plan on adding to your madrasa all of a sudden never made it out of the tower and is not available for you to draft. And sometimes some of those trapped keshis are released 2 or 3 turns after they enter the tower, and suddenly you have choices you never planned for. After drafting the keshis that came out of the tower, your turn is surprisingly simple. Activate each of the districts where you deploy your assistants by either performing the action of that district or adding a keshi, preparing for a stronger activation in the future. And now, with the table set, let's eat. All right, welcome back. We just had a meal inspired by Marrakesh, and Saida is now going to go over the menu. So
for starting, I made a salad, a carrot salad with spices and orange slices. I think it was very refreshing and cleans a little bit the palate of the heavier, spicier main dish, which was lamb tagine, which I made in the Dutch oven.
not in the tagine dish. Yeah.
The tagine dish. With couscous and bread.
And that was the main menu, right? So how do you like the carrot salad? We have, so you make 2 versions of it. No, this is fair.
It's
Go ahead.
okay because we need to adapt to our
Yeah,
guests. And it's
exactly.
good to do that. We want you to
Yeah.
feel welcome.
Troy,
Troy,
Uh-huh.
because Troy, he doesn't eat cilantro.
he has
doesn't like-
defective genes.
No, let's not say that. It's okay to not like stuff. So the recipe was with cilantro. Cilantro is very popular there in Morocco, as well as parsley. So I just changed cilantro for parsley, and that's it.
There you
Same with the lamb tagine. Instead of cilantro, I use parsley, among other spices.
go. Right, and it's just simple things that you can do just to feel your friends more welcome, right?
It's not something that it's a lot of effort. I
Right.
can't do that. Then if we want you to feel welcome,
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. And it was delicious.
Yeah, it was excellent. I cannot wait for your recipe book to come out because everything so far has been great. So.
thank you.
There you go. It's gonna come. So for summer, what do you guys think of the salad?
It was, like you
pretty
said, it was, definitely kind of refreshing and simple, and not simple as, but just
Good.
not as heavy
Right? Yeah.
as the tagine.
Tagine, yeah.
Tagine.
But I think that just as a salad, it's kind of like a good something different. If you're looking for like a salad dish,
For me, it was different. I never eat carrots like that, unless it's a coleslaw.
right. Yeah,
Carrots
yeah.
are roasted or in the
Yeah, and this is just raw
stews.
carrots. Right?
So it was a little bit intimidating. I didn't know if I was gonna like that.
Okay.
But I tasted and it was refreshing, and I think it's an option that I may want to consider.
Yeah.
To try to include
More
vegetables.
frequently. Yeah, exactly.
More other uses for carrot
Yeah.
because I really like it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And I had honey and
Has a little bit of honey, spices. I don't remember right now.
yeah, it's fine.
Cinnamon and Cajun.
Yep. Yeah. So it was a little.
Cumin. I
It has
noticed
some
that they
heat
use a lot
and
of
sweet.
cumin.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the lamb, also same spices: cinnamon, cumin. I noticed that they don't use a lot of what is this spice? The one that is yellow, turmeric.
Okay.
They always put just a little bit, and I think it's to give color
Mm.
to the food. But unless other countries that use a lot of turmeric,
Right.
notice, at least that's my opinion, that they don't use that a lot.
Yeah, and that one had olives as well.
Olives
Yeah.
has apricot.
Right. Yeah. Do you guys notice that?
Mhm.
I did not.
They give-
Andrew.
Yep. I
They
noticed this.
like my opinion is that they like spicy food, but not in the hot sense.
Right.
Mhm.
It's more in the sweet sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's they live in an area that is very dry, the desert. So probably those sweets they preserve like that,
Mhm,
and they use it to sweet and balance their meals. I have to say something. I didn't use preserved lemons, but I have something interesting. When they have it in abundance, they preserve it because they use it as a sour ingredient because they don't use wine because they are Muslim.
Muslim. Yeah.
So instead of using wine to give sour flavor to the dishes, so that's why they use preserved lemons. And preserved lemons is just adding salt to a regular lemon and leave it there
Right. For months.
for weeks or months.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if have you ever.
No, I don't think
Yeah.
so.
I never knew until we decided to do Marrakesh. Right. We started looking at the food of Marrakesh that they have this thing called preserved lemon. It looks like a pickled lemon.
Mhm.
That's what it looks like. But it is literally just you take the lemon, you cut it in quarters, and you put it in salt. Almost in quarters, right? You put in a lot of salt and leave it there for a couple of weeks until it softens completely the whole lemon.
And we use mostly the peel.
Yeah.
To give flavor. I didn't use it this time, but for I tried it in
Yeah,
another
we-
stew that we made, and it was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you think? I know Andrew was saying about the stew.
Oh yeah, the sauce of the stew and the tenderness of the meat and sitting in there for the hours is fantastic. And the that sauce actually soaking like into the couscous and stuff is really good too.
And
I
with bread
think,
was perfect,
yeah.
right?
Mhm. Absolutely.
And you made bread, so it was
Yes, I almost didn't do it.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was gonna have enough time. Ramon told me that he wanted to make something,
I
and that was
know.
his job, but he didn't.
I didn't. I'm sorry. I
So
didn't.
last minute, I
Any
said,
food for this?
I have a couple hours. Maybe I can manage to make it. And it's a simple bread. It's just yeast. I added olive oil and salt and flour. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those things that I see her making bread. Literally this morning, she said, "I'm just gonna make some bread." It's like, what are you talking about? And she, literally like an hour, 2 hours, there we have bread. It's
Yeah.
like, wow. And even if I know how to make bread, I never think, yeah, I'm just gonna make some bread and make some bread.
It's not that difficult, and yet I wonder why I don't do it more often.
Yeah. It's so easy to just buy
I need
it.
to have these occasions
Right.
to force myself into doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah. You make bread.
I have.
Yeah.
Usually, like we've done it in a crock pot actually
Ah,
a few times. Different types of bread.
okay.
So that's always been kind of interesting, kind of fun. But
Yeah. How about you? And do you guys make bread at home?
Not for a long time.
Okay.
We actually have a bread machine that got as a gift a long time ago, and used it a few times, and then we moved and got packed away, and there's still stuff packed away.
I
So,
know. That's crazy. And do you guys make tortillas?
no,
Okay.
they are a lot of work to do.
So
But
for the last podcast, we make tortillas. They weren't that bad.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. still.
compared to making bread.
Yes.
Okay, fair
Yes.
enough. I don't
And
know anything.
especially
so I'll
compared
just shit
to,
up.
uh,
Knead it a
buying
little bit, put
tortillas.
it in a pot.
Yeah, and let it go.
Tortillas, you need to, have individual portions, and you can get up to 30 amounts that you need to.
Sure, roll
flatten
them
with
in.
the-
Yeah, I guess.
Um,
Cool.
But definitely the flavor of, freshly made tortillas. For me,
It's-
it's better.
Yeah,
It's
it
so much
is.
better.
Just like bread.
The texture also.
Yeah, just like bread. There's nothing better than that freshly made. You cut into it. It's still a little steam coming out. Yeah. And we have couscous with almonds, fried almonds.
fried them.
Yeah. No,
I
we
bought
them.
those.
Right. Yeah. I didn't even know that was
I
a thing.
did use the spice ras al hanout
Yeah.
to give a little bit of spicy flavor.
So what is Ras Al Hanout?
It's a combination of, it's a spice blend of a combination of many spices, up to 30 or more. Every family has their own special recipe, so It's like
Right.
like
It's like
chai in India,
like the chai or the
they do it
what's
differently.
masala,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
from family to family. But
Yeah.
I found a store that had it,
Yep.
had it, and I bought it and I tried it and I really like it.
Yeah, it's I like it.
Yeah, it's all delicious.
Yeah, it's simple. I think couscous is one of those. If you are looking for alternative to the regular starches like pasta or rice or any of that, couscous I highly recommend. It's super easy to make. You can make it super fancy like I did today, or you can make it super simple.
No, it's not fancy.
Well,
just
I
boiling
mean-
water with the seasonings and put it there and leave it.
It could be just
over.
boiling water with salt.
Yeah. Super fancy is when we we saw this chef making it from
right.
scratch.
Yeah,
They have a big pot to make that.
a couscousier.
Couscous.
There's something called a couscousier, which is it's a huge pot. At the bottom, you put the water, and you put then it has another pot on top with the little holes, and it's really just a steamer for the couscous. That's what it is.
But it's an efficient method for cooking. In these places that is very dry, that you don't have a lot of water, when you make a stew, you take advantage of the evaporation.
Right. So you make the stew at
So
the
you
bottom.
make the stew and you make the couscous on top.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the tagine
Dish.
the
The
terracotta
shape
dish.
of it. Yeah.
Dish is it's like just like a Dutch oven, but they use it to like a mini oven on top of coals. And the shape, like, is like, how would you describe? Like a cone.
Like an inverted cone. Yeah. It's just.
Yeah,
cone,
it's because when water evaporates, it condenses on the top, and it has like a cup on the top that you can put a little bit of cold water, and that makes the condensation faster. Like everything goes back to the dish. That way, they don't have to. If the dish dries, they don't have to put more water. Right.
Okay.
So it has a purpose, but it's like I told you, it's like I think the Dutch ovens are more efficient at that.
Yeah, we were talking about this before we started recording. But the Dutch ovens have a big hunk of metal, and making a clay pot is so much cheaper, right? I mean, there's clay or everywhere. The actually art of making clay pots is being well known. You don't have to get the iron ore processing to like get the iron and and then it's a lot of it, right? You can make so many fittings for carriages or doors and stuff like that out of the same amount of iron that you use in a Dutch oven. While clay, you just go to the pothole and get your clay. So yeah.
So that's it. And for dessert,
Yep.
I decided to make a orange blossom cake. Like I mentioned before, when we make the drink, it's something common that they add to their teas. So instead of orange extract, I decided to use orange blossom in the cake, and in the I made a yogurt glaze with orange blossom. And I tried to be a little bit fancy there and try to do a candied orange peel.
It was fine. Did you like it?
Yeah.
I think it was a success after all. My first try. So.
I think so.
Yeah.
It was the cake was good. It has a consistency of like a pound cake, but it has that flavor of the.
I also when I was doing the research, they have a orange cake that is popular. So I tried to do a version of that.
It's interesting because I always thought oranges and lemons were from either California or certainly from the Americas. Yeah.
Arabs brought that to Europe.
That's very cool. Things you learn when you play board games. Excellent. Thank you. My only complaint is that there wasn't enough glaze.
But then it wouldn't have looked pretty.
I know, but the glaze was so good.
I have a lot upstairs, so more cake, so you can do another.
We'll have pancakes with the glaze. Like, that's
there you
what,
go.
Yeah, so, but everything was very good.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, unless you guys have any more comments,
No,
you
I love
guys
it.
Ready to play?
you
We're ready
are
to play.
Yeah, let's play. And we are back from playing Marrakesh. Now, we are back, but not from playing Marrakesh right away. Actually, we're back from playing Marrakesh a few weeks ago. And Saida and I are here, but Troy and Andrew are not with us anymore. Sadly, due to some technical difficulties, I ended up deleting a big chunk of the podcast. So we're going to record our final thoughts on the game after we played. Um, just Saida and I apologize to our listeners for that, but um, things
And to our
happen.
guests
Yeah,
that are not here,
and certainly to our guest, because
beginners' mistakes.
exactly, yeah, we still learning the craft of the podcast craft. So anyway, Saida and I are here. We have played the game, and we're gonna talk about our experience playing it. So I'll go first. I have to say that this will be the third or fourth time I play this game. I can't remember. I do have to say that initially, looking at the board, play board, and looking at the game board that goes in the middle with all the tracks, I honestly thought this was going to be a heavy game. And what it is, it clearly is not a light game. It's not as heavy as it would appear to begin with, right? Um, I don't know about you, Saida. What about you? I know you were a little bit hesitant to play at the beginning.
Yes, when I saw the board and I saw all the pieces in it and all the areas and different colors, I got intimidated. Um, and I have to say that it took me a little bit of time to understand like the areas, like the keshis purpose,
Right, right.
corresponding the correspondence between the is this the keshis?
The cases, yeah.
The keshis and the areas and they where they should be, located. Um
Yeah, I have to say um there is, so this is a worker placement game, right? You have three assistants that you're gonna be placing in the three different areas. Those are your little guys, right? Not the cashies, but the way you select those assistants is by choosing which caches you're gonna be dropping into the tower at the beginning. So there's that disconnect of um selecting the workers, or the place where you're going to be putting your workers, and selecting the caches, because, and then we can move on into the mechanics. We have the cache tower, which is, to me, what sets this game apart. I don't think we ever played with something like that.
yeah, but as an initial impression, what I meant is like looking at it, it has so many spaces, so many areas, so many caches of cubes or of different colors that I was intimidated by it. And then when you tell me that I'm gonna select some, we're gonna select, and then we're gonna throw it into a tower, and then they may not come all
All
of
out.
them.
Yep. Yep.
That put me in a position like I don't know, like I was. Maybe it's gonna be a lot of thinking and it's gonna be difficult. Maybe it's not my kind of game,
Right.
but I was intrigued. I really like the idea of pretend travel with a
Hmm.
game, and
Hmm.
certainly with the food that we made and the drink that my spirits were in a more it took the balance. I
Right.
was more than than happy to start the game and learn the rules and do my best.
So you think, or you will say that the dinner party experience around the game make you more willing to participate.
It's just my opinion
That's fine. Yeah.
because I do not tend to play this kind of games because I want to have fun and let's bring this game and play it. No, if I will bring a game, will be something more, you know, like less time maybe,
Hmm.
less complicated. But yes, this is the reason why we do that. No, I
Right.
want to why we do this. It's a way to maybe convince other people to play the game or
Right. Right.
trap
Right.
them. And I think I was trapped,
Yeah.
with the friends coming over, the food, and the theme because I want to travel. I
Right.
want to travel more. Right now we cannot do that,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
this is a way of trying to feeling
Right. Right.
that desire in a way. But I had to say that I was a little bit intimidated with so many
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
lots,
There are 9 separate areas where you can put your 3
Mhm.
workers, and
And
you
out
actually
of
get 12 caches.
so from 12 you need to select. So that I think is what scares me. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that decision making is not a decision of 1 from 3. No,
Right.
it's 3 from 12.
Right.
So that is what makes me like a little bit, I don't know, hesitant maybe, or I don't know how to describe
No,
the
I think
feeling.
I understand you. There's another game that you've never played, Fist for Odin, and Fist for Odin is the same thing. You have a handful of workers, and I want to say that like 30 different worker areas, um, action selection areas in that game. And I actually don't enjoy playing that game because I always feel that no matter what I choose, somebody else is choosing something better because they understand the game a little bit better. And even though I try and I enjoy somewhat the game, there's that feeling of I don't know this enough. How can I really justify? And there are just too many options for me to in one game, right? I will have to play multiple times to kind of understand them all so that I can make a more informed decision. And in that one, it's exponentially more than this, right? But I can see your point in that you're sitting down with this one that still is a lot. You still 9 places, and then how do you actually get points from those places? How do you translate putting the worker there, doing that one action into actual points to win the game, right? Because at the end of the game, you do want to be successful. Winning is not required to have fun, but certainly helps.
At least you want to know what you're doing. Like you're playing with a purpose. I understand the game, and I'm moving in a way that I think, it's it meets my purpose. I don't know.
You can make a plan.
Yeah, I can make a plan. At least I'm following a plan.
Right, as opposed to I'm just pulling levers here, see what comes out because I don't have an idea of even how to make a plan. Yep.
And I have to say that I enjoy the game.
Okay.
I didn't win, but I tried to do what I like, the parts that I liked and I understood about the game. Maybe that didn't help me a lot because I could see that Troy, who was the person that won, he did way better by focusing on the
mosque and the palace,
the
right?
mosque and the palace, and I kind of didn't want to touch those areas. I felt like I was not gaining a lot at the beginning, so I just focused in the, I don't know, I felt like I was traveling in Marrakesh, and I went to the how do you call
the
it,
main
pink part?
the main square,
The
where
main
the
square,
performers,
and then from there I spent my money in the in the how
in
do
the
you call
souk.
that?
Is that what you
In
did?
the souk.
You did a lot
I
of
did pink and souk, but I felt at the beginning I was doing a lot, but once I feel all the pink area and I spend my money in the souk, I didn't have enough ways to take resources and to do more from the middle of the game to till the end, because I didn't have a lot of dates, I didn't have money, and here you have like a limited, in the pink area is limited. Once you feel those things, you don't get it, right?
No,
There's
you
no
always
way.
you always move it.
Yeah,
whenever
but
you
you
activate it.
don't necessarily get the money all the
No,
time.
right. Once you pass that 3-1, right? The way that the performance works is there's a hexagonal wheel, if that makes sense, that rotates and then activates one of them, right?
Yeah.
And depending on the number of performers that are facing that one thing that you activate, you get to perform that action that many times. Yeah, it's a little bit different than the rest of the board.
Yeah, my point is that I felt like at the beginning I could do a lot by focusing on those, but then at the end I felt like I didn't have resources,
right,
or ways to get them as quickly as you guys, who were getting more dates because had more people on the farms.
Certainly, I focused on the green one and got a lot of dates, and the madrasa.
You needed the dates to buy the
right. So I focused on those two, the madrasa, the green one. Yep.
So I couldn't. I was on the lower level of the madras, so I only got, what nobody liked.
Right.
Which didn't help me.
The scrolls, yeah.
And then I couldn't move fast enough to get the bonuses on the
me
other
neither.
places.
Yeah.
So, but I have to say that I enjoy it. I did had a plan. I decided from the beginning to the pink area.
Okay.
And spend my money in the souk.
That's cool.
And I'm sure that's what I'm gonna do. I also did the Medina.
The Medina, the gates.
I did the gates. So if I going to Marrakesh, I probably gonna do that.
Most
Be
certainly.
entertained and go and spend my money on
Most
it.
certainly. Most certainly. On the research that I
I do
did,
want to do a dessert.
the desert,
Yeah,
the Sahara,
yeah.
on the little bit of the research that I did to prep for the teach of the game, I did find out the Medina district. It's right, and you can see it here on the board that the um, the the wall surrounds the palace, right?
Mhm.
And that is what is called the Medina district, or the all fortified city. And there are actual gates around the city, just like El Viejo San Juan, right?
Yeah, in Puerto Rico.
In Puerto Rico. And some of those are,
I would love to visit that, and I guess
yeah,
that's why I play that too.
exactly.
I
Yeah,
did what I
yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
chose. I didn't win, but it was a pleasant game.
Excellent. You have fun. That's wonderful.
And since this is not my type of games, because I prefer much lighter games, I have to say that I managed to enjoy it and to play it, and felt like it was not as difficult as I thought from the beginning.
Right, 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 right. And that's the thing about this game, that so you played it twice already. I think that it really does takes 2 or 3 plays to get to the point of familiarity with the different areas and with the mechanics of the game, because it is not a complicated game. It has 2 phases. The first phase is selecting the keshis and putting your assistants, then dropping everything and drafting those keshis. And that's not really playing. That's when you actually play, is when you activate your workers. So your turn really is just, on your turn you activate each of your workers, each of your assistants, by either activating that area where he is at, or adding a keshi. So that's all you do. You either activate the area or you get an extra keshi to make that action more powerful next time. So mechanically, it's not a very complicated game. It's just that there's so much here,
It's a
right?
decision making.
Yeah, and the
That takes
preparation.
time,
Yeah, yeah. It
That-
really, I at least struggle so much with looking at my keshi and prepping, trying to make these little groups of 3 that I try to do. It's like, okay, first I'm gonna do that, and then I look at, when do I go first? So this, when I go second, I want to drop certain keshis, and when I go first, I want to drop certain keshis, because I think turn order matters.
Yeah, I struggle making those decisions. I guess I didn't have a lot of planning in that aspect. But I did notice that when it was your turn, you needed to put what you wanted
Absolutely.
to do.
Yep. If
Because
because you're the first
your
person to
plan,
grab. Yeah.
that's the time when you play your hands,
Right.
But when it's not your turn, you're
If you're
third,
last,
maybe if
yeah.
you're third or last,
Yep.
you just need to deal with what you get.
Right. You need to be flexible.
What can you get?
Mm-hmm.
Where can you get more points or benefit more from what you're left with? And and I have to say that I kind of love and hated the Keshi Tower because I'm sure I had benefited maybe in my round or something, and I got more Keshis than other
Sure,
people. But
sure.
that part I don't remember. I just remember the 2 times where I got less Keshi than other people, and that made me feel like frustrated. Like,
Right,
man,
right.
come on,
sure.
I don't like that tower because some of the Keshis were stuck behind.
Right.
And then with other people, when they went first, those Keshis came down.
Yep.
So they got to get to have more Keshis. So I think that's a luck thing. The randomness
Yeah.
comes with
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. The Keshi
So
Tower
if
adds
you're
some
on the side
randomness.
of the luck, well, you can benefit from it. And
Right. Right. It's not a purely Euro game. There is some chance in this game. The way I see the tower is that the tower is the Ras Al Hanout.
The Harasa Hanut.
Right, so the tower is the Ras Al Hanout of the game. It sprinkles some
And
spiciness.
it's different from family to family.
That's
so
right.
Some families use 30 spices, other families use 3.
That's right. Yeah. That's how I see the tower. I like it. I enjoy the randomness of it. But you're right. I remember we always remember when it's bad for us, but not when it benefited us. That's just so normal, so human, right? So yeah, yeah. What about player interaction? Were you, other than turn order, when you realize, okay, I go first now, I want to drop the keshi that I want to grab. Were you looking at somebody else's board? Is that something that did you even think about then?
Oh my goodness. Maybe I did, but I think that I was struggling with my decision making and with my own things that I just blocked that.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. Maybe I was looking at what you were doing.
Well, I was
Yeah,
next
I
to
was
you,
next to you.
so that
I
makes
knew
sense.
that you
Yeah.
were doing the dates and the
Right.
maybe, but I always try to grab something that benefit. If I were to choose based on what you have, maybe it's because the options are not so great for me.
Right.
So maybe in that, if I had that scenario,
Right.
then I
You're
will
talking
look
about the drafting of the cash.
the drafting.
Right.
Yeah,
After
not,
the drop. Yeah.
yeah. And you're not talking about that.
No. Because
I'm talking about choosing when the cash is
no. Overall, actually,
Overall,
overall,
yeah.
right. I just, because they're listening, for the listener, they don't get to see. We're looking at the
Yeah.
Keshi Tower. You're looking at it when you're talking about that, but we never said what particular phase of the game is, right?
But basically, for choosing the catches to throw in the tower, I don't know. I always wanted to have the option to go to the souk, so I will leave one color per face.
That's the only one that you have 3 Keshis for that area.
I never put the catches, the 3 at the same time.
Never. Okay.
No, I just spread them. I don't know.
That's fine. That's fine. I did. So I did do that. Or were you saying that hate drafting? I did. I remember one time that I looked around and there were 2 caches of a particular color that it wasn't even on an area that I was going to activate. But somebody else, and I can't remember, I think it was Andrew, he would have benefited more, or Troy, one of the two, would have benefited a lot from taking those 2.
So you took them.
So I did take them. But at the same time, I also had that one
Activated.
in the back. I hadn't used it yet.
Oh.
So I also knew, when I drop mine, if I can take it, now that action is going to be power of 3.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just hate drafting, but I was looking constantly.
What is that word?
Hate drafting.
Hate, like because you hate the.
Because that means that you draft, right? You take something not because it benefits you, but because it hurts somebody else, right? And it could be both, right?
I am not at that level in this game,
right? No,
because
that's fine.
there's so much going on. I was overwhelmed with the decisions, so just choosing the catches, that I cannot go to that level. But I enjoy it, and I think I did well.
Yeah. We'll play it again. I'm sure we'll play it again. Troy, we'll pull it out at some point and we'll play it again. But yeah, I certainly was looking, and I remember playing Castles of Burgundy, which is the other game, most famous game from this same designer, Stefan Feld. I'm always looking at the other player board all the time. It's like, because that one you're competing to be the first to finish certain areas, and I'm always looking, do I have a chance to finish that one first, that area first, the blue area or the green area, whatever. And this one, I'm looking at the other ones because I want to kind of know, can I drop this keshis now or can I wait a little bit? There's always 1 or 2 areas that I want to grab, but you only are first once. So I'm looking to see when it's particularly advantageous to me to drop those other colors that I want. And that's why I'm looking, so, you already used your green. Now I want to throw my green, or the other one around, I'm second or third. He is 4th. He wants green. He maybe put a green. Let me put my green so I can take 2 at the same time, right? It doesn't always work because the Keshi Tower, right, might trap them or not. But I am constantly looking. Andrew, what are you doing? Troy, what are you doing? Saida, what are you doing? So, and I like that. I really do like games that have a lot of play. In this indirect, it's not a take that I'm not taking from you, but I'm looking constantly.
I know you're always looking at my board.
I am.
That drives me nuts. It's okay.
So this game, talking about rules and mechanics, this game has a lot of iconographies. And I actually, something that I hadn't done before, I focus on the desert as well, right? I did do, I think, 3 of the desert little cardboard pieces, I guess, that they are
Bonuses. They give you bonuses.
yeah, they're end game bonuses. And those I had to look. And certainly I was doing the madrasa, so I was getting all those scrolls and I had
The
to
scholars.
look. Yeah, so I had to look at the scrolls. But the appendix booklet, those very good. It's very well organized. You can see the numbers on the cardboard on the tiles. And so yeah, no, I think the rules are great.
How about the cheat sheet?
It's fine.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? Go ahead. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not very good at understanding just symbols.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
I felt like I couldn't understand it. Like I needed to rely on you guys doing the
Right.
the thing.
The end of the season and another
Yeah.
round. Yeah.
I
No.
don't know.
I remember feeling the
but that
same way.
happens to me a lot in
No,
this
no, no.
kind of games that have a lot going
But
on.
I remember feeling the same way the first and even the second time I played this game.
Okay.
It really wasn't until I sat down and looked at the rules and look at that. But yeah, so the cheat sheet is behind your shield board and it tells you the different steps that you're gonna do on your turn, etc., etc.
I
But
did not read the rules, but I think you guys explained it very well. I think I managed to play.
yeah, you compete. You came
Yeah,
third place.
third, yeah.
So yeah, no, that cheat sheet, it's a little bit confusing for some reason. I wish it wasn't where it is, because that thing is slanted. Your player shield is slanted a little bit forward. Why can't it just be like a card? I mean, there's so
Yeah.
much cardboard. It could have been a tile that you give me.
But you understood it.
I did.
Right?
It's-
But you read the rules.
I did.
So maybe for the person that explains the rules, just keep the cheat sheet for you. Don't give that to any player.
But you have to give it because that's what hides your
Oh my
keshi.
goodness, okay.
That's the part that
Because
I
for
don't
me-
like.
Yeah, I forgot about that part because I was so confused about.
Right. You could tell them, don't look at this.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
don't
I
look
guess,
at it.
yeah. But
You're gonna get more overwhelmed,
Right.
And I am gonna guide you.
Right.
That's what you needed to say.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Because that's the only time you really use that is at the end of the round. What about the components? What do you think of the production of the game?
I think it's good. I like the little
Yeah, the double layer boards, the fact
double
that everything
layer,
fits in
and
there.
everything fits. And we were playing yesterday the other game about the game. ¿Cómo se llama el juego?
Yeah. The Great Split.
The Great Split.
That had the same.
And I felt like the little squares, like at least in the white area
Oh.
of the stars, it gave me trouble. Like
Putting them in. They didn't fit
there.
quite.
And here, the shape
Yeah, they're
of
hex
the hex,
cones,
it,
hex cylinders.
it
let's say.
is neatly done and it fits properly. I think it's a good quality. It's thick cardboard.
Right.
The tower fits very well, right?
It does.
The
yeah.
only thing is that if the table is wiggly,
If you bump the table,
the
yeah.
keshis then are gonna come down.
And that happened in
Maybe
the
that's
game.
gonna be my strategy.
Pinball style.
When it's my turn, I'm gonna hit the table.
Like the pinball style. Halt. You're gonna be halted. I agree with you. With all the wood pieces and the dual layer boards and everything. However, I feel it's a little bit overproduced. It's
A lot of things there.
yeah, it's so big, it's so sprawling,
Maybe
and
a lot of people, tiny people, they do.
yeah, and it is a deluxe version, and it certainly looks deluxe, and that's fine. They came out with I think it's called the classic version, which I wanted to buy because I would like to have this game in my collection, but it still is $100, and I think this game could be produced for much less and still be a very good experience, right? But this deluxe version, the player boards are huge,
Compared with other games,
right?
is it the same?
No,
Like other,
it's bigger.
it's bigger.
Everything is
Okay.
bigger. Yeah.
I don't know. I cannot talk a lot more about that.
But you
because
saw how much space it took the entire
entire
table that we
yeah.
have, and we have a proper board game table, right?
Mhm.
So, especially, yeah. I mean, you expect that from a game with miniatures. Like we play adventure tactics, and that's a sprawling game. You're moving the miniatures in the map, etc., etc. But this one is just you're pushing cubes. You know?
I know, but at the same time, I know that it's big, but maybe it's that
Yeah.
everything looks like clumped together.
In other games.
No, in this game.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I don't know. Like,
So even though it's big, you still felt
and it's
lost.
not no, and I think it's because of the areas. Like it has a lot of pictures and stuff in the board. And maybe they could have reduced it a little bit.
I think so.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. The classic version, the player boards are smaller. The center board, I think, is cut in half. Because honestly, you don't need a lot of the stuff that's in there. So, like the madrasa area where you put the tiles for the scrolls, that's gone. You just put them anywhere you can fit them in the board, right? So that's half the board right there. The market is gone. You only need those tracks. So yeah. But yeah, no. Like I said, I think it's a great production. I feel a little bit overproduced. I wish they had a $60 version. You know. So strategy wise, what do you think? What was your strategy? Did you specialize in a particular?
I tried to specialize.
Okay.
Right. But I felt like I couldn't adapt. Like I told before, I could do stuff at the beginning of the game, but I felt constrained from the middle to the end. Like I cannot go to other places because, you know, people were taking those things. So I felt kind of stuck. That I could, if I follow that path of specializing and it doesn't work, then I cannot. I'm stuck. You know, I don't have a chance because other people are doing so much more.
Right.
And I couldn't find a way to see
to
what
pivot.
can I do that I can maybe move as fast as them. Not saying to catch them, but I felt like I was behind. Like my I don't know how to say it. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, no, I think I understand you. So you had a strategy, right? You thought of specializing in the main square, the performers, and the souk, and you did, and
once I was done,
you were locked into that.
I couldn't get the other areas.
It was
I couldn't
difficult.
do much.
Right.
I couldn't buy in the madras
right.
because I needed to have more dates, and I couldn't have more dates. Right. When I needed to focus on making points. Right. So, and then it was so many keshis that I needed to have in the date area at the end in order to get points from specialized scrolls that it was not worth it.
Right.
But then here, I felt like I was so much behind. Moving one or two stairs, it was not giving me nothing. And people were getting bonuses in those areas.
Right.
Same in the mesquite. So I felt like I could, once I reached like the most I could do with those two, like I could not do more.
Right.
I was depending on what I could buy on the souk with the little money I could get. Which I have no way of making money, only this.
So the thing with the souk is that what you can get is random. You only see the top. You see the top 5, which is a good selection. But it could be that those things don't give you enough points.
But you could be planning to buy one. And then other people go before you and buy it because that happened.
Right.
When after I bought something that gave me a few points, the card flipped, and then the other person for the same that I paid got more points.
Right. Because unlike the other areas, you actually spend the keshis in the souk. So you could have a big turn and buy 1 or 2 big items that give you 10, 20 points. But then you're done. It's not like you can continue to buy big items, unlike the madrasa.
And they don't remain there.
Right.
Like for the other places, they remain there, so they count. So I guess it was not a good strategy.
No.
But, if I ever go to Morocco, I'll probably go to be entertained and spend my money.
That's right.
But I felt like my strategy was not adaptable.
I think that with the pink area, the entertainers, right, the main square, it's very dependent on the madrasa. There are some scrolls in the madrasa they augment what you do here, so you could activate things out of order and so on, etc. I seen that, so you could combine those two, the gray and the pink.
But if I do the gray, I need to do the green
At least
too.
some, or find a way. But you could get dates from here,
But not a lot, you know.
right?
It's like
Not as
one.
much, yeah. But I think, yeah. I think there's a lot of different path here that you can do. It depends on the Keshi Tower.
I
It
don't know.
depends on
I think that the path of the mesquite and the palace is very strong.
the mosque and the pass.
The first person to
think
do
so?
that is the one that's gonna win. That's my
Huh.
feeling.
Interesting.
The other ones are so difficult, I guess. I don't know. Because those doesn't give you a lot at the beginning, but at the end you get like the bonuses,
The mask
some-
and the pass, yeah.
But this one gives you a lot at the beginning,
Right.
which is the pink area, which is end up spending and may not getting
Right.
a lot of points. And the desert, you still need to pay for bonuses that you may get or may not.
Right.
So it's
The desert you
difficult.
certainly want to.
But if you move on the stairs of the palace and the mesquite, eventually you're
Mosque,
gonna get.
yeah.
Sorry, of the mosque.
That's fine.
This is the second
I
time
do
I
that
say it.
too. That's
Okay,
fine. Yeah,
sorry.
the mask.
The
La
mosque.
mezquita en español.
Mesquita. That's why I say
Yeah.
mesquite. It's not because of the wood. It's
Right.
because in Spanish it's mesquita.
Yeah. I do.
Sorry.
I do it. It's fine.
Lost in translation.
Yeah, it's fine. That's right.
That's it, I think. I just wanted to say that I felt like I couldn't adapt.
Yeah. No. I understand. What about the river?
I cannot talk a lot about the river because I didn't do it.
Okay.
I just didn't have the chance.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. If I have the chance, I was thinking about I had other priorities.
No, there's so much here.
I don't know.
The river gives you a lot of stuff too. Especially because you get bonuses at the end of the turn, at the end of the season. So, yeah. But I agree with you in the sense that I feel that at the beginning you kind of have to generalize, and eventually you will specialize. Yeah, I think that maybe you specialize too soon, too quickly.
Yeah. Try
Maybe that's
get
yeah.
some
but
influence in all the areas.
yeah.
So that you can at the end have something
Right.
where to pull resources from.
Right.
and
Right.
stuff from.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all about luck. Sometimes you want to follow a pathway, but you cannot do it because you don't have the keshis. So I guess at the beginning it's a good thing to diversify in the areas, right? Is that the word?
Yeah. You certainly want to diversify, but I do feel that you need to specialize
Find a
at
path.
some point.
Yeah. At some point.
Because you get 10 points per area that you finish, and I almost always see people finish at least 2. I was able to finish 2. You did one. Yeah. So, and I think that's it. If you're not finishing 2 areas, you're very likely not going to win. It's difficult because not only they get those bonuses, they also are getting big movement on those areas, right? And like you were saying, the mask and the palace, getting those bonuses at the very end that you do 3 or 4 movements and just straight up victory points. Same thing in the river. At the end, if you pass the end of the river, it's just straight up victory points. So, yeah. So, would you play it again?
Yes, I will.
Me too. I really enjoy the game.
But I expect you to cook for me the full menu.
You got it. Oh, something I wanted to say. Before we play Marrakesh, I didn't know what a tagine was. Did you know what a tagine was?
I have heard of it.
Okay.
I thought it was a special dish.
Uh-huh.
And in a way it is.
It is.
But it's just the vessel. Well, I guess the dish, when you find online recipes, they mention like lamb tagine or chickpea tagine. And it's a stew.
Right.
But it's mainly the vessel.
Okay. Right.
That's what I learned.
The cone shaped pot. So yeah, I didn't know what a tagine was. But I got the impression that you did know what a tagine was when we were looking at Moroccan Moroccan food or something, or at least you understood.
Yeah, I understand.
Right.
I kind of knew.
Yeah. In
wasn't
something
sure.
very interesting that happened to me, at least, is that now in the luxury goods, some of the luxury goods that you buy are actually tagine
Tagines, so
pots.
now
Yeah.
you recognize it.
Yeah. And the fact, I think that certainly makes the game more enjoyable.
Yeah, when
Because
you read because you're familiarized with it. It's like you're
yeah.
part of it. You know what is happening.
Yeah, and I remember watching that show that we watched about the food, that chef cooking in Morocco, right? Actually, in Marrakesh, and he went to the market, and we saw that there were some tagine handmade that were
From
really
clay,
expensive.
yeah.
Exactly, so they are luxury goods. Some of this handmade tagine traditionals by master potters, right? So I have to say,
We've seen them in special stores here.
sure.
And they're very pretty. I don't know if they are,
One of
to
those.
put over the coals.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
to cook in a traditional way.
Uh-huh.
But they're certainly pretty. I think they will be awesome, for an entertainment if they didn't cost that much.
Right. If you could rent one just to use it
just
that
for a
one
few
day.
days, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It'd be cool to eat out of a tagine and then play and show the people, look,
Yeah,
we just
this is a
ate out of
tagine.
this,
Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted to say that before we wrapped up, because honestly, we always talked about how to enhance the experience of the game. And I think that we always think about the other people, right? The people that we're bringing to the table, we're cooking for them, and we are hoping to enhance the experience for them. But I have to say that it enhanced the experience for me too by doing all this stuff as well. So
Yeah, one of the reasons that we do this is because I want to play more and you want to play more with me. But when I see relationships like this with things that I like that I can see in the game, that certainly makes me want to play more.
right,
So,
yeah, absolutely. And it would never have happened if we just play. If I tell you, hey, Saida, let's sit down and play this game that I tried in packs.
Well, if you sit down and show me this game and open it and play, I'm gonna say no. You need
Very
to
likely,
grab. You need to make some emotion in me.
Right.
You need to say something like it's gonna draw me to want it to share this experience with you. Because when I just see the colors and so many pieces and so many rules, no way.
Right. Sit down for 40 minutes while I teach you how to play this game. And then we'll play for another hour and a half.
You need to find a way to make it special.
Yeah.
And talk about that.
Because
when you talk about that, when you share that with your friends, maybe they get engaged. They are as excited as you to play the game.
Right. Yeah. And that's what the board game dinner parties are, right? It's a way of making it extra special, right?
And I have to say, it's a little bit of an effort too.
It is.
But the reward is so, there's no way to measure it.
Right.
We are hanging out with friends, not only eating, but playing, doing both and talking and doing something that we all like. It's like we are creating memories and it's a different level of playing, I think.
It is.
Experience.
I will have to say that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, right? Just sitting down and playing is great with friends and we make some connections. Just bringing people over to cook for them is great and we make some connections. But bringing everything together makes the experience.
And also, I wanted to say, sometimes when you bring a game, you're so used to think, how do you win this game? I want to win. What do I have to do? And maybe these other things, like bringing food, making it an event, like tones down that a little bit. And that is sometimes good. Removing that...
age of competitiveness.
Yeah, because that creates a barrier. What if you don't win? Then you're gonna have bad feelings, or But I don't know, with food and with other stuff, that makes the evening more, the event more, I don't know, less intense, less competitive.
Right.
And I.
It's more about sharing something together, which it always is. But at the end of the day, you are trying to beat each other, right?
But what I have to say, sometimes when you bring someone new, since that someone may be thinking about winning and see this and thinks, oh, well, you already know this game. Of course you're going to win. Maybe I don't want to play with you because I will not have a chance. But doing this kind of stuff like lowers the intensity of the competition because you just want to know more about the game, to see the things, that that you got to eat, like you said, the tagine, like make it extra special because you know what that shape is. It's, I don't know. For me, lowers that barrier of competition that sometimes people don't want to play because they don't want to lose.
They don't want to. They don't. It's
And
not
when they
even
see a new game, for example, that they don't know, that they have to learn the rules
right.
at the moment, sometimes they don't want to play.
I think it's not even not wanting to lose. It's more of not wanting to look foolish or dumb in front of your friends. And especially if they're not even your friends. It's like it's a brand new person that just joined and have come to one or two board game meetups, a bigger things in public, etc. And all of a sudden you say, hey, we have our board game night at my place, you want to come over? And they're like, I'm still kind of brand new to this game, I haven't, like I'm not sure. But then you tell them, hey, you want to come over, we're gonna have food, it's gonna be a whole, another thing, not just playing. We're gonna have drinks, etc., etc. That, like you said, sets an environment of welcomeness, right? Make people feel more welcome. And well, I lost
get more loose,
more loose,
after the
exactly.
cocktail.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
don't-
yeah. It's like I lost, but at least I got some good food out of it. All right. Well, again, sorry to our listeners and especially to Troy and Andrew that we did this without you guys. I'll do my best so that this doesn't happen again. But I have to say that I really enjoy talking cardboard with you, Saida. Talking, just having this conversation, the two of us. Okay. So thank you, Saida, for indulging me and our listeners and going through this game again, going through memory lane of how we did it. So I hope you have fun.
Yes, I had fun. Thank you for doing this too. I never thought I would be playing this type of games as often as I am doing it now.
Yeah, monthly now.
And right now I feel like I can't wait for the next one.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful to hear. And to our listeners, just remember, if you want to see the recipes that we made, they're always at our webpage, thehungrymeeple.com. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. If you want to see the videos for the sunset over Marrakesh drink, go check us out on TikTok.
The Hungry Maple.
The Hungry Meeple. Everything is The Hungry Meeple. Facebook, TikTok, and our webpage.
And we have a column on the...
And we just got published on the Spirit Tabletop magazine.
You can go to their webpage and subscribe.
Yeah, please go ahead and subscribe. It's a great magazine too. They do excellent work over there. So go and subscribe and read our little article about Earth and
the whole magazine.
Yeah, exactly. Read everything.
Learn
Cover
more
to cover.
about board games. Play more and have more experiences.
And stay hungry.
Yes.